Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Ani joining us. Hi, Ani.
Hi.
So guys, this is exciting. Ani's got a success story from one of her clients. This client broke up with her boyfriend, and it was like she turned the situation around from him like hanging up on her and ghosting her to like him actually chasing her and begging for her. Like, it's crazy. Like, this is so awesome. And guys, just to let you know as well, Ani is a coach here at Create Your Future. She's got a special promotional rate. Check out the link in the description below for the next month. Okay, so her and Carol actually both have that rate. So definitely check it out there. It's like seriously like 50% off. So definitely check, or close to anyway. So check it out. And guys, like usual, when you read these success stories, when you hear them, say, hey, that's going to happen in my life. And as well as, we're going to go through like we usually do and talk about the key points here. So hopefully you can take something from this video and apply it in your life. So honey, let's hear the story.
Yes. Okay, here it goes. I'm so happy to share my success with you, Ani. I never did any coaching before, but after seeing all the positive comments from people about Create Your Future's coaching, I decided it was time to give it a try. My boyfriend is now chasing me and begging me to spend time with him. Now, this may not seem like a big deal. However, once I tell you what happened, you will see why I was so excited about this. My boyfriend and I got in a huge fight and we broke up because he did not want a commitment. I was so scared that he would never want to be with me again and forgive me. I always felt this looming feeling of rejection when it came to him. He totally ghosted me and was treating me with such disrespect, and he even would answer the phone and then hang up on me. What I did to turn this around was realize that I am God of my reality and that everyone is you pushed out. I realized that he acts the way I assume him to act. So he can't reject me unless I think he will. So to get over the fear of rejection, I constantly reminded myself that he is me pushed out, and I stayed on my mental diet like Ani told me. Thank you so much, Ani. You really sped up my manifestation by helping me to see my blocks and encouraging me to stay on my mental diet. Also, a huge help was the list of little manifestations that you had me do, as those really helped me to keep my head in the game and focused. I also want to tell everyone out there that no matter the circumstances, it is possible. I really thought that he was done this time, and if I can turn my situation around, then you can too.
Oh, it's so amazing. Yeah, it is really that simple. And from what I understand, she didn't write it in the story, but it really wasn't that like they were actually broken up for quite some times, and it didn't take her that long to actually get him back as well. So that is actually really, really amazing. That
It
is
is.
awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
It was so exciting. Like it feels so good when the client finally realizes that they're so powerful and everyone is then pushed out. So once they shift that mind state and their desire manifests, it's crazy.
Right, right. Because, yeah, exactly. Because everyone is you pushed out is that everybody's going to act the way that you assume them to, or the way that you're thinking or focusing on them to. So like it's those inner conversations, that we have back and forth, like in our head, right? Like, it's almost like, well, if he does that, that's it. I'm going to be so upset. Blah, blah, blah. Like, and I mean, that's really created him to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy. So that's what the mental diet is meant to do, is to get us to stop and to be aware of those conversations and to start shifting them, right?
exactly. And I notice a lot, like, it's so easy sometimes to forget that you are in control because you're like so used to just reacting. You have to remember that you're not a reactor, you're a creator. So always remind yourself that once you see that you're falling into like a feeling of, oh, well, I don't know, what if he does this, what if he, no, you're the one that creates, you're the one in control.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and one way that you can always double check to make sure that you're on point with your mental diet is check in with your feelings, because your thoughts create your emotions. So just right there, if you're thinking, oh no, what if, like, that's a pretty anxious sort of feeling, right? That you get from that. So, right there, we're not on our mental diet. Well, we are on a mental diet, but we're on a mental diet of living from the end of rejection. right?
Yes.
So about shifting that and into, so if you're doing a mental diet correctly, you're going to feel neutral, natural, and if not hopeful and excited at some points, you know. Yeah, but at least the minimum of being neutral and natural, you know, and that sort of, you know, good feeling. You know, when you're going down the world of anxiety, get on top of your thoughts, right? Or like
Yeah.
worried about rejection, right? You know? Yeah.
Also, I've noticed that when you feel just neutral, like you don't have to even force yourself to feel like so positive all the time. Like it feels forced sometimes when you try that hard. Even just feeling neutral, it'll get you there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, exactly. I mean, and it's not even about being positive or negative. It's just about focusing on what we want. I always go for that neutral feeling myself, like just personally. You know, like especially when I first started, my biggest complaint was, okay, what happens if I get all excited and I let myself down? And then
Yeah.
so what I did was I was like, well, wait a minute, okay. I'm just going to focus on it in a neutral way because you know what? I know my thoughts create. And I think it was actually, it was like, so weird. Jim Carrey's like speech really kind of, I don't know. I love his speech about intentions. I don't know. He does, and he teased. He was like, somebody was in the way back corner, and he was like, "You intended to be there." He's like, "You created this. Why didn't you create yourself a seat right up front?" And like, you kind of overlooked that, right? You know, and it's always like it's just about, you know. I said to myself, you know, I'm just going to focus on something neutral and natural. I'm not going to get my hopes up about it. I'm not going to get excited about it. I'm just going to focus on having it. And, you know, and that for me works. I mean, now, I mean, sure, I'll get excited because I know it's going to come. But when I was inexperienced, I wouldn't overly excite myself because I didn't want to be let down. But I knew I still had to focus on, you know, I didn't want that fear of being let down, but I knew I had to still focus on my stuff. Like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's really, really cool. And the other part, you know, is that everyone is you pushed out. Nobody can reject you. You know, that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Only if you say, I mean, because what you say goes. So if you assume that, if you think that, then that is what you will see.
Yeah. Or if you're scared of that happening, you're
Yeah.
most likely going to create it, right? Most
Yes.
likely going to create it. So the great thing is we do that, those lists of everyone as you pushed out stuff, so you can start to see, you know, how, you know, you're creating people. And when it comes to your specific people, you know, start with small things. Like I remember one time I got Andrew to call me his little billionaire, you know, because it was just like so out of the, it was so awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is so amazing, Ani. I'm like, wow, you know, this is great. So guys, Ani, like I said, she's doing video coaching, and for the next month, there's got a big discount right now, her and Carol. So definitely check out the link in the description below. She does video coaching only, so check that out. Yeah, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.